Alrighty, everybody, I am back here. Welcome to another episode. So today I'm going to start working on the window trim pieces. I want to get them all kind of buttoned up and good to go. So these are like the tracks where the windows slide up and down on. They were really nasty. They were just full, like packed full of like hard, nasty, dried out grease. So what I did is I took them in my basement and I soaked them in some oven cleaner really good and let it eat through that grease. And then I put them in some super, super hot water, almost boiling. And yeah, I just let them sit in there with some dish soap, and then I got all the grease off, and then I hit them with my wire wheel, and now they're ready to be painted. So I'm only going to paint the back sides of them. I might do the front sides, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, mainly I'm just going to focus on the back sides of them. These are, I don't know what they are. They don't really rust. I mean, they do rust. They got a little bit of rust, but the rest of them really aren't rusting. But yeah, anyway, I just want to get them painted so they look nice. So I'm going to hit these with my wire wheel. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get some salt etching primer on them. And then I'll hit them with the some black paint just to match them up. Then I'm going to clean up the screws here too as well. And then the reason I stopped on the interior is because I want to get the headrest in. I bought some paint because I'm going to be painting. I'm not going to pull this out, but this is the old headrest. I think it's blue. I want to paint it black, so I got some fabric paint, spray paint on the way, which seems to be really good. So I will do that as well. So let me get started, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I have these all painted up, and they are dry, and they look pretty good. So now is what I need to do is I got some of these felt, these little fuzzy things that go on these window things that hold the window. So I'm just going to peel these off and get these stuck on here. And then these are just replacing the old ones that were on here that are all ripped up and torn. So I'm going to get these put on. And then I'm going to start putting this on the car. So there we go. And that just keeps it so when this is pushing on the window, it doesn't scratch it up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one, which is for the driver's side front, and it's going to go in like this. And then the driver rear one. The next thing I'm going to put on is this window stop here. This goes in the bottom right here. Go. Now I'm going to get the window and put it in. So when you put the window in, this is kind of really tricky here. You got to put this side in first because this is kind of, it curves and everything. And this one is more straight, but you got to keep this stuff loose and then just kind of work the window into the channel here. It might be hard to see on camera, but I will record it. So give me a sec. Okay, so I ended up not recording because you couldn't really see much. But what I did is those, first off, let me come over here and show you something. Because I did this both wrong on both my windows. So if you watch my window install, where I installed the rollers and stuff, you'll notice that the window is concaved. the rollers don't go on the concave side, they go on the opposite side. Because the window is concave like this, the rollers need to be facing inward. So don't do what I did and make that mistake. That's the number one thing. Number two thing is when you're putting this in, I found it best to kind of set this in the middle, tighten it down, or at least tighten it down so you get the window in enough to go into this little track right there, one of those rollers. And then this side is loose here. Well, it's not really moving, but it's loose, and it allowed me to move it and then get this other side of the roller in. Now, is what I gotta do is when you come down here, you'll notice that this track here has little holes in it. There's one there, and then you can't really see the other one, but those nuts that are on the actual window, you can see it back in there. I don't know if that's a nut. Anyway, but yep, is what happens is those go into there, and that's where they tighten down. So, yeah, let me work on this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. This is the rear of the door, so like that's the front. So on this rear in here, this bolt actually goes in the track there, and then the front bolt, you're gonna go in through this hole here. You'll see a tab down here, and that's where that bolt goes, and that's how it gets held onto the window. So the next thing that I gotta do here is there's these little stops and felts that go here, here, and here. I got to get those on, just so when I roll this window up and down, it doesn't lean too far forward, and it holds it. But right now, it's in. It's easy to roll up, and it looks pretty sweet. Looks like a window. So give me just a moment here, and I'll be back. Okay, so the next thing that I did is I actually got these cleaned up. These are the little window felt fuzzy things that hold the window and guide it up and down. So I got them all cleaned up. I wire wheeled them off on my wire wheel, and I just got them primed. And the next step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get them painted, and then we will put these, and my garage is so messy. But anyway, there they are. We'll put these little fuzzy felt things on them, which will help to eliminate scratches on the window. So I'm gonna let these dry. I'll pop them with some black spray paint, and I'll be back. Alrighty, so here we go. I have these window guides all painted, and I put these little fuzzy things on them. So these are good to go. So let me get you set up on the tripod, and I will get you, I'll show you how they install. Okay, so you're gonna see these window guides, and you're gonna notice that there's two different types. There's one that looks like this, and then there's one that looks like this. So the two different types, or the ones that look like these are going to go on the outsides. So here and here. And the reason is because this is actually where your door panels hang onto. So yeah, that's where you want those. So let me get those installed here. And the way you do it is you hold this up, put it underneath, and then while that's being held up, you just take your screw and screw it in. It's pretty simple. So let me screw these in, and I'll be right back. Okay, so those are installed, as you can see. However, whenever I roll the window up, you're gonna notice this has scratches from before, but you're gonna notice that there's big gaps. Well, this one's touching, but there's a big gap between this one and this one. However, I'm not going to adjust those quite yet, because is what I want to do. Give me a sec here. Let me roll this down. Is I have this window felt here, which goes on up here like this, and I want to put that on. So in order to get that on is you got to drop this door, or this window here, you got to drop it all the way down. And in order to drop it down, you gotta take out this bolt here. Sorry, it's cold in here, so my heater keeps turning on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take this bolt out, and I'll be right back after this heater shuts off. Okay, so I have removed the stop. And as what that did is that allowed the window to go down past these holes here that you see. And that just allows me to go ahead and take this window felt here and allow me to put it in place like that, and then use the provided holes, which are, I'm trying to zoom in here, it's kind of hard to see, but use the provided holes to put it in place and get it screwed on. Generally these window felt tips come with their own screws, so is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it up in place and then I'm going to screw it in. So it's pretty self-explanatory. There's holes in the window felt, there's holes behind here where they screw in, so I'm just going to screw the screws in those hole locations. So give me a second, let me get that screwed in. Okay, so I got it all in and it's good to go. That window felt is good. So is what I did is I rolled up the window and then I put these. I had to readjust some of these so they were touching the window. Like this middle one, you can see it was back here, so I had to push it forward a little bit. And then this one, it was pretty good as well. Sorry, this one. I had to adjust this so it was touching as well. So the next thing that I did is, after that, I rolled the window down. And then you want this to sit just below the felt here. And then you can put your stop in so it stops the window and it doesn't go down anymore. And that's all the further it goes. You don't want it to go down too far because then the window won't be rubbing on these felts and it will be wiggling back and forth. And when you shut the door, the window will be rocking. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Next is these right here. They're window stops. And is where they go, this can be really hard to see. But this channel that's up in here, the very first things that we put in right there, these stops actually go into that channel there. And this is what's going to stop the rollers and then make your height so you can adjust it so you roll your window all the way up. Here in the car, it stops at a certain spot so you can't roll it up too far to where you're going to be hitting your paint and going too high. The best way for me to do it, or I think that I'm going to do it, is I'm going to put these in. And then, yeah, I really can't see, but I'll just put this in and I'll put it at a certain height and then I'll just adjust it up and down in this channel right here, adjust it up and down and figure out from here where exactly the window needs to go. So let me start getting that adjusted and I'll be right back. So I want to kind of share something with you all. You'll see these tracks here. The best way to get these in is to make sure that the right side is pointing out where it screws in. And literally just take this piece, guide it down in, and let it go. It's gonna fall all the way down on that track. However, when you roll up the window here, and you wipe in here, watching. There it is. You'll see it right in there. And then you can go ahead and, that wasn't it. It's still down a little bit, but there it is. It's in there, but it's in that track. And the roller is actually pushing it up to where it needs to go. I know for sure this one's up. It's up here. So I know that that's a good spot. So I'm gonna screw in this one. I'll probably go down and go about halfway and get that one screwed in. Then I'll jump over here and then screw that one in when I'm done. You can also reach into the track and feel behind it and move it up and down too. But I just found that that was a lot easier, so. Okay, so here we go. I got that all installed. Now those little tabs, they're gonna determine when the window rolls up, how high each side of the window goes. It's kind of hard to film with just one hand and roll this up because the window, as you can see, it's tilting in too far and it needs to come out. So I'll show you how you do that adjustment there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna push on the window. I'm gonna push towards away from me like this, which when you do that, it opens the gap up down in between here. So that just tells me that this adjustment has to go forward more. And then this one also has to go forward more. And then this one, it's like not even really touching. so this one will have to go forward more as well. So it's kind of hard to film all that. So all I'm going to do is just loosen this, push it forward, and then tighten it down. And the same with this one as well. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it all adjusted. Looks pretty good. I know there's a little gap here, so this side's got to go up more. However, there is that trim that goes up on here, and then the seal, the weather seal, which will take up a lot of that gap. But this is it. Let me zoom out, and then pretty much for the most part, the window's in. It's looking pretty good. I could still adjust it up a little bit higher if need be. It is leaning in. However, once you get that trim on there and the weather seal, this will pop out and it should be good to go because it'll be a nice tight seal. And you can open the door. Opens good, and you can close it. Closes good, and it's pretty much good to go. So that's it. Let me move on to the next part. Okay, so I'm starting to install the weather stripping around the door here. And on it, you'll see two ends. You'll see an end like this. Hopefully this will help somebody when they go to put theirs on, because it was really confusing and actually took me a while to get this on or to figure out how it went. But you'll see a side like this, and then the other side will look like, hold on just a sec here, let me get that. Okay, I'm back. So the other side of the weather stripping will look like this. And as how this goes is this piece, it's kind of like a triangle. It goes up here and it sits like this, and it rides in the channel on the front of the car here. And then this one right here screws in there, and then the other one will screw in down there. It's kind of hard to see the angles, but then it becomes part of the window track itself. So that's how that goes. So is what I am going to do. Sorry, I gotta clear my throat here. So is what I'm gonna do here is I am going to take this piece here and screw it in and get it started. Then I'll take this piece here and screw it in and get it started. And then I'll go around the edge and get the rest of this all clipped in. So let me get this started, and then I'll kind of show you. Yeah, let me get it in, and I'll just give you kind of an overview of how it looks. So when you come across putting this in, if you're kind of confused on how they go, you'll have a better image. All right, so I got the seal on here, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. It's clipped in all the way down, all the way around, and comes up, and it looks like this. Only thing is man, when you close these doors, holy cow, night and day difference what the new seals do. You gotta slam them until this can get molded. And yeah, I was pushing hard, and that's how big of a gap I got. It's pretty big. I don't like it. I mean, definitely it can go in and it will latch further in. However, those seals are just so fat and needing to be broken in that it's just going to take a while. As you can see, my lights don't even turn off, so it's not closing all the way. So let me slam this door as hard as I can, I guess, and see if I get it to latch all the way. So give me a sec. Alrighty, so I finally got the door closed. Man, that sucker's hard. I mean, I have to, just pushing it normal, it wants to give resistance like way back here. I mean, so you gotta compress that seal. So you gotta kind of slam it. Just shutting a little harder than I would like to. However, these lines, they do line up pretty good. So it's shutting decently. It's just, yeah, those are super strong. And then once I roll the window up, get the seal in, and it'll hold the window out just a little bit. But this is what she's looking like. Not too bad, not too shabby. So yeah, I think, yeah, I'm pretty happy. But anyway, everybody, I really appreciate y'all watching my videos. Yeah, it's nice. If you could hit that like button, it helps me get more views. Just something with the YouTube algorithm. So if you could just hit the thumbs up, that'd be great, so I get more views. Almost at 1,000 subscribers, so that's pretty exciting. I think right now I'm at like 902. But anyway, I'm not doing this really for the subscribers. I'm just doing it for documentation and just to kind of show people what I'm doing. So, But if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and yeah, we'll check y'all next time. Later. Peace.